blossoming into a real fine politician, boy. So you are the member of parliament for Port of Spain South.
Yes.
Give the Trinidad and Tobago an idea of the demographics of where Port of Spain South start, where it fall, and what is the dynamics of Port of Spain South?
So if I can do the demographics first, if we start from the east, you start at the top, John.
Right.
And we received, as part of John, received part of Picton. So that is now part of us. And we come down on that northern side into Africa. We come to Block 8, Block 9. Then if you come further down, Plaisance Road, Spree Simon. And when you go to the southern side, you go Old St. Joseph Road.
Right.
And you go along from there, East Dry River, Sealots 1. You do Pioneer Drive, and then you do, what was known as Katanga, but the time it's Sealots by the highway. And paralleling that is Nelson, Duncan, St. Paul Street, so you're parallel.
Right.
St. Paul Street, St. Henry Street, you parallel, and you go straight down. You have St. James on the north, the entirety of St. James, and to the south you have Arapita Avenue, and you go right down to Bellsmith Street.
Okay.
And then further down you end at Fort George, which is where Power Stars, that's Jeffers Lane.
Right.
We end at Jeffers Lane.
Right. So that's the demographics of the constituency. And it has been 2 years.
The 10th of August 2022 will make it
2 years.
How time flies.
How has it been for you? Come on, join us on the live. Remember, we're on Facebook, the Street 919 FM.
This has been quite an experience.
Tell me.
It is something new, and it's an endeavor that I embrace. And I want to tell you that mentorship is something that is very big in the PNM.
Right.
And you start from the Honorable Prime Minister, and he has a different way of mentoring. He mentors by example.
Right.
He doesn't talk much.
Right.
But he mentors by example. First thing he tells us, no contractor must bring no bag with nothing for you all. He speaks in parables, but he speaks very practically too.
Right.
And then we have the leader of the house, Mrs. Camille Robinson, Lisa Champion. So when we go to Parliament, she guides us. And there's a wise man called Colin Bird, Minister of Finance. I can tell you he brings a wealth of knowledge. There are other persons, but I just would look at those three as three axes where you can always go to get some guidance. And it was very important to me to have that sort of guidance there.
Right. So you have now fully indoctrinated, as they would say, fully wet your foot. You can hear you talking in the parliament, you're talking on issues and bills and stuff like that. So you are fully now embraced in the knowledge of the parliament and the procedures and everything like that.
I made sure that what I didn't read, I looked and I experienced it, so I have both. And what I realize is that you never stop, and you can't tire,
Right.
And I heard you say something when you started. No, time is our friend, We will make time our friend. We will have time for all things that are important to us.
Right.
So although I have Parliament at 1:30, I told you I was coming.
Yes.
The leader of the House gave me a grace of 15 minutes. So I can stay.
Serious? Who's the leader of the House again?
Camille Robinson.
Well, let me say thank you.
Robinson Regis. She gave me an extra 15 minutes. But we are a party of discipline, But more importantly, Google, I am here. People wouldn't know, but remember for Christmas you sent me a message?
Yes.
For Christmas, Trinidad and Tobago, I got a message on my phone. Mr. Scotland, it's Christmas time. What you doing with the children? We're not seeing. I say, what? You messaged me the day before.
Yeah.
That was the Saturday. The Sunday, we already had things in place.
Right.
And we started to canvass the whole area, the whole of Port of Spain South, from what I told you from John to the end in Jeffers Lane. And we had the children happy.
Right.
What I realized also is you can't please everybody all the time.
Talk to me.
But we are here to do the people's work, you know. So I went to have a Subway yesterday, and a man said, boss, how are you? Because somebody I know, my constituent in St. James, he said, you know, we are senior. And now, I didn't like how he braced me. So I reciprocated. But the message, so I'm understanding that maybe St. James needs to see me a little more.
Right.
Because our Peter Avenue, they're seeing me because we are doing the enhancement and the revitalization of Port of Spain, and part of it is our Peter Avenue.
Right.
But St. James is not forgotten. No area in Port of Spain South must be forgotten under my stewardship.
Lovely.
It's
lovely,
not gonna happen.
Lovely. So how has it been, you now embracing the communities, and every community have their different dynamics, and how are you able now to deal with some of the, because the young man calling yesterday about some street lights in some part of East Dry River or somewhere,
yes.
And he was saying that he would have sent the video to you, and the street lights still haven't been dealt with.
That is Kingsley. Kingsley's lights are up in low place. Kingsley, I hope you are listening. I would want no, Kingsley. If I could have gone and fixed your street lights immediately, I would have. But Kingsley, your street lights are being fixed. Sometimes if I don't have a time frame, I don't like to tell people.
Yeah.
But I can assure you that is up in low place. So I know of it.
Right.
And his street lights are being fixed. What we want to do first, though, and in fact, today, Kingsley, I think I still have your number on my phone. I'm going to give that to Minister Gonzalez, because we're doing street lights next week.
Right.
And not street, we're doing the courts where the children can go in the evening and use their energy. So the courts in Pioneer Drive, we lighten up the courts.
All right.
The courts in the first where you come to the lights in East Dry River, we lighten up the courts. And guess what? I stuck in the courts on Duncan Street, because there's a court if you go across, when you come across from Prince Street, there's a court on the left-hand side.
Right.
It has no lights, but they come out and they play football, and it's a community, you know.
Right.
And nobody killing anybody.
Yeah.
And I stuck that in, and I got the minister to agree. We agreed on 3. I stuck in 1 and we got in 4.
Beautiful.
So Kingsley, I have not forgotten the lights on low place, and it will be done. Hasten slowly sometimes, but I know if people don't have lights, it's an urgent matter. So I will try to deal with that. In fact, I will make that memo this afternoon.
Beautiful.
When I go to Parliament.
Beautiful. So basically, and you know, the listeners, you are doing just what the listeners are expecting to hear. They want to hear what you plan to do, how you plan to do it, what have you been able to accomplish. Right? So those are some of the things that people were expecting, and you're going down that road this afternoon of sharing with the listeners what are some of the things that you are embarking on. One young lady said to me that she wants you to do a pool, lobby for a pool for them now.
Pool? Well, let me, you all...
She said she done seen herself in the two-piece, and I don't know where she was going with that.
I don't know either. but let me tell you, when we did on 3 Saturdays ago, when the Honorable Prime Minister did in Success Laventille, we had it was Meet the People in Success Laventille, okay. And he was speaking about the pools, because there's a pool in Bonaire, there's a pool by Adrian Leon's in Andover, and I happened to be sitting right at the front, and I shouted out, 1 in Port of Spain South. So I will not forget a pool in Port of Spain South. It is not a priority.
Okay.
Because what I want to do now, my priorities, and
tell us what are your priorities.
My priorities are to get those defunct community centers up and running.
Beautiful.
So that we can engage the community
a little more.
Right. And that will be intra-community. The community itself, dealing with itself. There's an issue inter-community where one may not be able to go to the other. That's an issue that we need to address. It's a deep issue. It's a historical issue. But we need that. And I am seeing sport as one of the means of transforming that. So when we put the lights there, I'm going to talk to Kieran Dopwell. I hope Dopwell is listening.
Yes.
I'm going to speak to Max. I'm going to talk to people and say, let us have an inter-community competition once the protocols allow it. And let's let the young people meet the young people to see that we are all all one. We go to Duncan Nelson Street because they also is a community. They are a community. We started where Beverly Hills. That's also a community. So it isn't that the pool is not a priority. It may not be the top of my list. What is at the top of my list, though, is the homework centers.
Homework centers.
I really want to have the homework. And do you know that we had the homework centers? I had a partnership with the UN almost ready to happen. Lala and I were talking about it. And we were supposed to meet a week in March, and then COVID come and shut down the country.
Right.
We already had, I think, we had lined up some corporate sponsorship to bring them back, what they need, air condition, tents, tables, chairs, Wi-Fi. I have now, and it's not, I am gathering devices now. I have about 50, and another 50 I have got some corporate sponsorship so I can give it to the students who, of course, want to learn, want to go to school, but they have it with the Wi-Fi. I'm trying to get the cases for them because if you don't have the case, when they fall down, they break.
Yes.
But that's also a cost.
Yes.
And we are bearing the cost. I want to do that so we get the homework centers up and running.
We're going for a break. We're going to come back to Trinidad and Tobago. When we come back, we're going to hear some more plans for Port of Spain South. We're urging you, join us on the live Street 919 FM. Thanks for the 132 persons that are on our Facebook page. And on YouTube, we have 179. And we know that those numbers are going to build and people are going to share the live. And we're going to hear some more from the Honorable Member of Port of Spain South, man, Mr. Keith Scotland. We're coming back after this Trinidad and Tobago. Don't touch your dial. Make sure and take down the numbers 323-0476, 323-0476, and 771-1791-466-5391. When we come back, we're going to allow Mr. Scotland to give us a little more of what his plans are, and then we're going to open up the phone lines.
Something positive, something positive. Oh, I did it, boy, just you. I beg you, just play more positive music. My friend, them down in the ghetto. And this one, I just feel you. I beg you, just something positive, something positive. Oh, I did it, boy, just you. When you with you, I beg you, just play more positive music. But that's how my friend never fight me back. Play more positive music. Too much a negative thing going on, boy. Play more positive music. But that's how my friend never fight me back. Play more positive music. Watch it. Push all of the positive artists, them push them way behind. And them know I hear chronics, no blessed messenger. But they rather promote alkaline. And then they have to know I don't know Trinidad. Love until why it got so much crime. See negative music that they're playing, that I'm messing with the youth, them mind. I'm making them say more positive music. That's how I'm a friend, them a fight me back. Positive music. No watch a negative thing going on, one. Positive music. I like this verse by positive music. But deep in my heart, to me tot heavy load. When my body come sing, gangsters touch the road. I pull in my friend them closer to hell. When them listening song from Vibes Cartel. Look at what I want up today, yeah. If I lock up in a jail cell. So just to sing positive music deep in my heart, to my feel compelled. Madam, play more positive music. And that's how my friend them a fight never. Play more positive music. Too much a negative thing going on, why? Positive music. And that's how my friend them. You gotta stop. Positive music. Anything in it. We'll go to the next one.
Introducing the new and improved Digicel Plus Smart Home. Complete home control right from your phone. Enjoy amazing upgrades, new stylish design, and easier to install wireless cameras. Automatic home and away arming and disarming. One-touch home automations. Easily integrate with Google, Alexa, or Apple. And full-color night vision. Sign up now for 50% off installation and 20% off for 6 months. Get smart home now at digicelgroup.com. Digicel, better together.
Every Friday, it's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays with MC Duke and Selector Kochi from 6 straight to 9 p.m. blazing all the latest and past soca hits. So remember, make it a line, make it a day, rock and come in, you know. It's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays on the Sheet 919 FM. You don't know.
There's a new taste in town. Maracas Bacon Shack at 79 Robert Street in Woodbrook brings you bacon shack, kingfish, fries, shrimp, aloo pies, and delectable sauces to tease your taste buds. Walk in, order with food drop, or get parking lot pickup at 488 Bake or 75 Shack. Need catering? No problem. Call or email tastemaracas@gmail.com. Follow Taste Maracas on social media for all the delicious details. Taste Maracas, the new taste in town. Corner of Roberts and Rosalino Streets. See you soon.
Patrice again. I go drink blue waters and mind my business. I go drink blue waters and mind my business. Who me? I only drink one brand. Blue waters inside the house and the pan. When I need to hydrate, I drink blue waters. I'm feeling great. When you see we out on the road and we going hard, take a sip of blue waters. That's the #1 brand. Drink blue waters and mind my business. I go drink blue waters and mind my business. Me and you join in the blue water crew. The taste, the vibe, blue waters is the truth. When the hot sun come, I drink blue waters to cool me down. When you see we out on the road and we going hard, take a sip of blue waters. That's the #1. I go drink blue waters and mind my business.
Yo, this is your girl Precious representing from the VNR show, and this is my co-host
Roberto.
And guess what? Carnival Monday, 28th of February, we heading right here at the Queen's Park Savannah for Carnival Comeback 2022. Giving away 2 tickets for Carnival Comeback 2022. Real easy thing. All you gotta do is call us up and sing any Iwer George song. Any song you actually know the lyrics to. Call and sing his song, and the callers will call us and vote live and let us know which Iwer George impersonator they're feeling the most, and then they'll move over to round 2.
Of course, Friday is all about the trivia questions about Iwer George. So it's easy questions, easy thing. You're bound to know them.
And then you get to win 2 tickets, male and female, to come down here to the Queen's Park Savannah from 3 p.m. for Carnival Comeback 2022. Let me tell you something. When you see the boss in the stage, you better come in for your blessing.
Carnival come back. Me say you wake up in the morning and you just realize Carnival come back again.
Alright, maybe that isn't 100% true, but hear this. TSB and T-Dot Sided alongside Iwer George presents Carnival Comeback. Carnival Monday, the good again.
This is Iwer George, the big boss of the business. Carnival Monday, the 28th, 3 p.m. Queen's Park Savannah. Carnival come back.
3 p.m. Carnival Monday, Queen's Park Savannah. People, young brother, I'm gonna be there live and live DJ to be coming to.
Shake it properly.
People, you need vaccination on entry.
Come out in your Monday wear. Come out with your team from 3 p.m. till. Get your female tickets started at $220 and male tickets at $250 with food inclusive. Get those tickets online at suntix.com. Also, book your cabanas. $2,000 for groups of 9 with coolers and food inclusive. All this happening at the Queen's Park Savannah. Carnival come back.
Shop at New City Mall and check out our premium selection of high-quality clothing and accessories for men and women. Save on all items with competitive prices and courteous service throughout the entire mall. New City Mall is located in the heart of Port of Spain with entrances at 3 Charlotte Street and number 41 Independence Square. We offer a variety of shirts, long and short sleeve, round and V-neck tops, vests, caps, hats, sunglasses, briefs, boxers, shorts, swim trunks, denim, jeans, long and 3/4, socks, sneakers, casual and athletic, shoes, dressy and fashionable, dresses, formal and casual, skirts, lingerie, undergarments, and a wide range of accessories. Come check us out as we also have clothing and accessories like Levi's, Clarks, Armani Exchange, Hollister, American Eagle, Ralph Lauren, Nike Air Force and Air Max, Puma, Adidas, Timberland, Academics, Aeropostale, Old Navy, Forever 21, Hanes, Dockers, Guess, Converse, and so much more. We have barbers, hairstylists, as well as weave and wigs on sale. All at New City Mall. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Sale, sale, sale.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108. Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle every Monday from 9:05 a.m. to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 919 FM.
This is Wayne Delamore, Head Consultant and Director of Natural Health Solution. With over 15 years of experience in clinical nutrition and microscopy, we specialize in early detection and prevention. We incorporate evidence-based nutrition and science-driven analysis. Tune in to our educational program every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. right here on the street 91.9 FM. For appointments, call 222-2189 or 304-5816. At Natural Health Solutions, we offer a natural solution to healthy living.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko Sangre Grande, is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guest. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Friday night, Sunday Ministry of Worship, Children Hour, and the Word from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. Tuesday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And Friday night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. All night prayer for our nation. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org or on Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated at Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
Share the live. Share the live. This 3919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iwer George on Instagram. Share the live. Iwer TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. This 3919 FM.
All right, Trinidad and Tobago, so we are back with you. We are back with you. Make sure, as you heard, share the live. Share the live. Tell somebody to tell somebody the Honorable Mr. Keith Scotland in the studios of the Street 919 FM. Open door. Open door. You started the Open Door series.
I did. I remember. It was. That time I was a little nervous, but we did well.
Yes.
We did well.
So, we want to talk about some of the plans. But before we reach to the plans, I want to find out from you, and we were saying it earlier on, the dynamics of the communities. Woodbrook, people are more conservative. They are more, you have to be a little more diplomat with them. I know that the people in Sealots, they tell you how they feel. They tell you straight up. If they ain't seeing you, we ain't seeing you. If they want to see you, we want to see you. The people where we know Twiggy will go on live and tell you, hey, it's River, waiting to see you in Scotland. How do you chameleon yourself? How do you get yourself into that format of dealing with these different communities? Because people thought that after Miss McDonald leave Sealots and all these areas would never get an MP that would have been able to embrace them like that. But how have you been able to deal with that aspect of?
Well, you talk about Twiggy. I don't know if you can share, but Twiggy is one of I haven't seen her in a little while because of COVID.
Right.
But,
yes.
Quite that's Twiggy and I. The dynamics is quite challenging sometimes in terms of having to understand the differences. What I find though is, if you're genuine with people,
yes,
it doesn't matter what the dynamic is, they will relate to you. So for example, Woodbrook, when we started off, Woodbrook never posed a problem, but Woodbrook right now, and particularly Arapita Avenue, etc., we are working together, I have certain constituents in Woodbrook. Sunday, if they don't have water, my phone may ring if I'm taking, especially if Manchester United doesn't do well, I go into a depression.
Right.
So I take a rest immediately. But they now call and I don't know how they get my number. Sometimes I ask how I get the number, they don't say. So Woodbrook and we are working together. Sealots, all is well in the sense that they understand that we are looking after their interests. I did 3 weeks ago, Tuesdays, I did a day in the life of the MP. We went down to Sealots. We got what they needed, and that's why I'm telling you, we're going to put the lights in. We're going to start to move. We're going to try the inter competitions in sports and try to lift it. Don't forget St. James. I remember the gentleman I met. The only reason why I fell out with him, I didn't like how he approached you.
Right.
But his message wasn't lost,
Okay.
And I'll be going back to him,
Yes.
Yes. And we will be dealing with St. James and Jeffers Lane, which is where Power Stars band is. I have to go by them this evening, boss.
Okay.
To hear them practice.
Yes.
I haven't touched the band All Stars, which a band I've supported for years. I have to go to Despers for 8 o'clock tonight. I'll split myself. I don't know how I will do it, but I have to do it because I make time for things that are important to me.
Right.
That's my mantra. So that is how we would approach it. The dynamics are really not an issue. At first, it was thought-provoking. But after that, I was able to settle down and deal with it.
What I wanted to ask you, when it was last month, you would have given out some checks to people who would have needed help.
Yes.
All right. So it was self-help.
Self-help. Yes.
Would have done some, and I was amazed at how the people were loving upon the MP.
There, because sometimes, not all the times, the MP is amenable to be loved upon. So not all the time. And I really genuinely, listen, I feel that how I was brought up, it made me very much able to understand interacting with people. I can't pass people straight. My elders, if I'm doing something wrong, this is how I was brought up in Diego Martin, and I see one of my elders, I had to stop it, until they pass, then I'll continue.
Right.
But I have to say good morning, good afternoon. And that's just the way, it was inculcated in me. And I think that was a training that would have enabled me now to have a smoother transition than if I didn't have that training.
Beautiful.
That's how I see it.
Beautiful.
It's 5 Sunday school I went, You think you're a pastor? 5, I know from the longest verse in the Bible, Esther 8 and 9, the shortest verse in the Bible, John 11 and 35, Jesus wept,
I hear you.
5 Sunday schools,
Wow.
On a Sunday, yes.
Wow. So, people wanted to also ask you about your communicating with your community. Is there like a Facebook page? Is there any way they can communicate with you? Like, let's say if they don't have your number and they want to get on to somebody in your office about some issue that's happening in the community, can they go on to the Portsmouth South Facebook page and send a message?
When they do that, there's somebody monitoring the page. So this is a room. This is an area where there's room for improvement.
Right.
Now, I have a dichotomy because what I don't want is the hype without the substance. So I'm trying to balance it because I don't want to do TikTok at 2 seconds and there's no gravitas behind it. But I was told, and teenagers sometimes they criticize you. They say, boss, your IT, your presence out there is not what it ought to be. So like that day when you did this entire day, that should have been live, etc.
Yes.
I want to balance it because I really don't want to get lost in the hype, but I want to get into the performance. But here is the difficulty, and it may be something that the party looks at. If we don't communicate what we're doing,
right,
then there'll be a narrative out there that we don't care. That is the opposite of the truth, You
have been taught saying something, and I want you to say it to the public today. When I met you in St. James, you said it on the platform, but I don't think people caught on to it. But you have been saying something, and I want you to say just what you said there about the narrative that this government don't care.
It's a false narrative. I want to say it to you. I want to say this to you. The Honorable Prime Minister has said, reach the people, If there's a vacuum on the ground, you know what will happen? All kind of nonsense will occupy the ground,
And that is what's happening.
We must be we have a mandate to be on the ground, I am told in my practice, just yesterday I was discussing with one of my juniors. She said to me, you're more of a politician than a lawyer. We had we spoke for about half an hour. And I'm like, because we have to hit the ground, because if we leave the ground in a vacuum, nature abhors a vacuum. So going back to now what you were telling me about the communication and the media, I think we need to get it out there, and even starting with me,
right,
to get it out there that look here, we are doing things and communicate it, because the young people they don't look at the news.
No, they don't.
They look at Instagram and whatever else. Everything else. So we need to get that out there so that young persons, when we come to the next 3.5 years, they will know we're doing things for them.
No, the young person who told you about TikTok, you see all the basketball courts that you plan to light up?
Yes.
You do a short video calling all the names of the basketball courts that you're going to light up. They would watch that and they would say, all right, when you do light them up, you do a short video, right? Number 1, I light up so and so. Number 2, I light up so and so. You'll see the effects of it.
One of my colleagues has I'm going to upgrade my staff to include a member for that, and right. I realize it is something important, and I must not knock it. Now here's my challenge. When I do a case sometimes, and maybe I need to save the trees a little more, they will file soft copies for me.
Right.
My word is, give me a hard copy. But that's just how maybe I'm trained, and I need to get out of that to save environmentally friendly, etc.
Yes.
But how I operate, because I will read on it, and from page first to the last, I can tell you every word. It don't matter how many pages that document.
My dad told me about a case that you did before we go to the phone lines. He said you did a case at time on what it was, why it was something with her car, and you would have drawn reference to the case and tell the judge. But so and so you brought it up and said this is you did I try to remember. If Dad listened, you would tell me. But and he did the same thing and won his case.
Listen, what we need to do and continue to do is to get the message. Trinidad and Tobago, the message out there is as follows. We are not tiring doing your work. And more importantly, when we do your work, we do you no favors. That's what we're here to do. Right. But there's no vacuum on the ground. And we care, and we will show you that we care. And let me give you one example. The revitalization of Port of Spain. That is a project that will benefit all people in Port of Spain and environs, you know.
Go ahead.
When we take City Gate and we turn that hub into something that is world class, when we take Arapita Avenue and change it from what it is now, maybe just a bar where you can go and drink, into a place where you can go and have a bistro, have a meal, go to a park with your children in the night, walk, have a festival. It will show the residents there will benefit because their properties will go up. When we control noise pollution so people can sleep in there, make the thing more civilized and livable, Trinidad and Tobago will benefit. When we go down into sea lots and we train people and we say, you know what? We have, look the same person who I was telling, we had a long conversation. Well, look, she's calling me on my phone. I don't know to tell Miss Asha, I am on I am on there. I am live.
Right.
But we had a long conversation. And what we must do is to reach the people and let them know, look here, this is not true that people will tell you we don't care. Because here's what the people want to say, look, when we come back, we must tell them, you know what, you saw me, and I did X and I did Y. That's why I could have told you that the lights that I have to fix is in low place, and it's Kingsley.
Thank you.
On the ball.
We're going to take some calls. So it's now
time is 45 minutes.
So we have to take some calls. 342-0081, 342-0081, 771-1791, 466-5391. Let's take some calls. Callers, please be short and to the point. We have a caller on the line. Let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, caller.
Caller.
And I appreciate that you are the first MP, Mr. Scotland, for a couple of reasons. You see, constituencies like yours face what I would say some of the most challenges in this country. And one of the things that you didn't really dive into, I want to highlight, which is the crime that exists in our community and the narrative that we tend to keep getting, especially from the police service. You see, we as a nation cannot want to not guide our children the right way and want to blame the mistakes of the parents who may or may not did their best, right? And then police have a responsibility, right, to enforce what we call the law. You, sir, are a lawman, right? And it took you some time. I
have a lot of callers holding it. Just bring a point because he has to go. He has to go to Parliament.
Just make a point, right? A lot of the police not familiar with the law that you had to learn, sir, but we have them out there enforcing it. And we had challenged when they give the narrative differently. You understand? When we are on video and when they are on video. We need the same type of treatment across the board. And we need our MPs to stand in the gap and stand, because that is the only thing police respect.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Caller, what the caller is saying is to know your rights.
Right.
And that is what will ensure that is known in Port of Spain South.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I am going in another direction. What is the PNM PRO doing? People
all right, no, he can't.
Let the caller don't. Callers, we're not afraid of it. First, let the people. Yes, madam, ask the question. It's an important question. Ask the question.
I am asking, why are you not putting out the things that are big that the PNM is doing in the country? People not knowing, they don't know, and keep asking the question, what is PNM doing? Where our money going? You need to do that.
Madam, your point is that we need to do more to disseminate to the people of Trinidad and Tobago what is being done by the government on their behalf. That is a legitimate point that you are making. I can tell you that our hard-working PRO, Mrs. Laurel Lazama Leasing, is on board. Our Minister of Communication, Mrs. Simon Denobrega, they are on board, and I will assure you that I will also have a word with them as it relates to getting out there what we are doing. I have something that is coming up, and I want...
We have a caller.
Take the other caller. Hello,
good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Yes, sir.
And to your guest, Mr. Scotland. Mr. Scotland, I'm hearing everything that you want to do and everything, but, you know, we have the excuse that anything to be done, it cannot be done because through adversity in the community. But there are a few things that I want to highlight.
Tell me.
The housing project, South Key.
Yes.
Let's see about that. I wonder if you just take a trip into the market, the central market. This market won't be prohibition, Mr. Scotland. You see the drain alongside the Quality bus route?
Yes.
That was cleaned in 2011 and it's still a sandbag down inside there, if you understand what I'm saying here. I want, you see down at Tila, the same Tila, the mouth of the river, Mr. Scotland, I would like to see something to be done there. It has so much more that I can say, but it's that to
let me answer three things for you.
All right. Thank you.
Three things. The mouth of the river, that is where Miss Bartley lives. Just before COVID, really, we had already spoken to Minister Foster Cummins, Mr. Gonzalez. We went down there. If I get, in fact, let me get my counselor on the phone. We went down there and we had plans to try to clean that and clear that waterway so that the house, that is, there's one house there, there's a gentleman, you see him ever so often, he goes out on a little raft.
Right.
That's his mother, that's his house there. We went there and that is supposed to be done. The market,
I think someone is saying to me that's a corporation.
that's
doing.
the corporate. No, but still, I cannot say that's the corp. I have to talk to the corporation.
Right.
To say, look, let's refurbish the market. The B-thumb, that's out of my constituency.
All right, let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello?
Yes, caller.
Yes, my name is Pedro Murray, known as the scientist. I'm a representative of the Artists Coalition. MP Keith Scotland.
Yes.
I had met you outside Parliament and I gave you an article named House of Oil, Music and Vinyl.
Yes.
It's in support of the revitalization of East Port of Spain. That has we have a proposal that has been sent to consecutive administration. It's for the past 20 years we have been pushing this, and we have support from the East Development Company, from the Inter-American Development Bank, from the Ministry of Planning within that period of time. And I would like to have an audience with you in terms of that type of initiative. The house is a successor to the Christopher Brothers on Nelson Street, which will be called the House of Music, which will be a museum for the artists of Trinidad and Tobago. That's the intervention that we would need to take place in East Port of Spain, and we would like to work along with you in terms of that initiative. I also send Google via WhatsApp the article and also some other articles via WhatsApp.
The short of the long would be, I will ask you to get in contact with either Miss Davidson at the office. I have started back seeing people every time I saw. Listen, it was this school. It was challenging. I try, but we have to do what we have to do.
Yeah.
And I am seeing people. You talk to Miss Davidson, and she will organize you. And more likely than not, I will see you maybe the week after the 11th of March. I want to thank Denise. Denise knows why I'm thanking her.
Let me take this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Google.
Good afternoon.
MP Scotland, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Colin Jacob here.
Colin Jacob. Colin Jacob, how are you?
I am blessed.
How is your wife?
Everyone is blessed.
Do they call you Big B, is it?
Yes.
Colin, you see my memory.
Yes,
Big B.
You have brain like an elephant.
Big B. Big B, how are you?
I am blessed. I'm listening, and I know there are a lot of MPs like yourself, Mr. Scotland, who is doing the work out there. But what I want to urge the people and them in the community, come out and work with your MP. Let us not just sit back and expect the MP to do everything to enhance
constituency. We could come out and work and assist. Because there is only united we stand and divided we will fall, and we could get a lot of work done. I just want to thank you, Mr. Scotland, and continue the good work. I'm keeping up the time with you.
All right. Cullen, you have a good evening, and please say hello to your lovely wife for me.
I will, Mr. Scotland, I will.
Peace and love.
Blessings to you, Pastor Google.
Yeah, man,
Pastor
thank you.
Google, you are giving me a vibe here, right? That making me feel not to leave. But I know the honorable leader of the house has given me a little leeway.
Yeah.
So people, give me some challenges. It can't be all that good and love.
Yeah, man.
So come somebody call in and say something that I'm not doing so I can continue. Because we need to keep improving, you know.
Yeah. Hello, good afternoon.
Listen, I come for this work, you know.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good
Mr.
afternoon.
Scotland and Pastor.
Yes,
good
sir.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Go ahead,
yes.
caller.
Yeah, Mr. Scotland.
I'm hearing
Mr.
you.
Scotland.
Yes.
Yeah, what I would like to see, I'd like to see that you encourage the children in the Beetham and Picton, Laventille to go to that school, that technology school that was built for them. Greenband Maxi is dropping people there, and yet the children in the area is not there. Use your influence and get the parents to urge the children to go to school. Because basketball court, swimming pool, and all these things are good. But without the education, when they will reach nowhere, because after the swimming and the basketball, that is it. Please get them into school. Try to use your influence and get them into school. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Whatever little I can do, but I want to say this also, the facility is there for persons who come in Greenband Maxis also, because it's a facility for the entire of Trinidad and Tobago. And what we want, callers, we want to be united.
Yes, let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon.
But I will look at that.
You hear me?
Loud and clear.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. MP.
Good afternoon.
This is Mr. Porter
Spain. Is this Mr. Porter Spain?
That's right. You are quite correct.
Mr. Porter Spain, how are you?
Well, I am fine. I want to give you a challenge.
Tell me. Challenge me.
I want the rest of MPs to come on this radio station where they are given the opportunity to say and explain all how and what they are doing for their constituency and for overall for Trinidad and Tobago. Could you advise the rest of them who an invitation has been opened by Pastor Google for them to come here and get explanations and questions answered and the people of their constituency what they are doing. So today, Mr. Scotland, I will see you later on. I'm a very disciplined person. I know you have to attend to the people's business in Parliament shortly. And I will see you at the Panyard at the appropriate time at 8 p.m. there tonight.
I will be there at 8. Mr. Porter Spain, we doing that 8 sharp, yes?
Yes, I know, the raffle.
Yes. I am adding a little extra to the raffle. I'm having something in an envelope for the first prize winner.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much, man.
So make sure we're on time, because I have other panyards to visit. I will be there at 8 sharp.
Yes.
Once Parliament completes, if Parliament does not complete, I will send a message, okay?
And I want to make sure you take up my challenge. Invite the rest of MPs to come.
I will.
919.
Pastor Google, the house at the end is Miss Dottin's house. That's my constituent, Miss Dottin. So house is the last house at the end, at the mouth.
Yes.
And that is why her son, the summer you see a man arrive, or happiest man alive, he goes out there. And I would want to start that dredging to clear up that area.
All right, we'll just take 2 more calls before we go. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. All right.
Hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Good, Mr. Scotland. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Right. Now, here's the point I want to make.
Go on.
You are aware that all the boys and girls who was 15 years old in 2005 They're now 30 years old and they have seen no economic trending upward in the constituencies that you are in charge of, right? So now they're 30 years old. That can't be good. I'm making suggestions. You are the MP, and if I was the MP, I would operate in my constituency as though I was the mayor of my constituency. So what I would like you to do is ensure that things such as parking, because people are parking all over the place, especially in the vicinity of Riverside Plaza and stuff, that parking and those what you call basic law and order things is working well in your constituency. The building within the confines of your constituency, like the HGC building, should be properly maintained so that the tenants can enjoy a certain kind of comfort. When you are a landlord, what you do is you collect your rents on time and you ensure that your clients who occupy your property is also being able to live under a certain kind of sanctity. Mm-hmm. I would like to see you're an attorney and understanding what basic law and order is all about. Get that restored in the constituency in which you belong, and it will lift the standard of living of the people. In other words, if the people are living in a state of dis-ease, which is spelled disease, create a kind of living that puts their mind at ease so that they can figure out on a daily basis how to take care of their family and thus advance all of the aspirations that they have.
Thank you very much, caller.
Caller, I will disagree with you on one, and then I will agree with you on the other. I do not agree with you that the persons who were under 18 in 2005 and who are 30 now did not see any economic upliftment from Port of Spain South. Port of Spain South, and I'm talking to Port of Spain South now. There are things and programs out there for you all to grasp that will assist you in bringing yourselves up. And these are programs that are being run under the auspices of the Ministry of Youth Affairs, under the auspices of the Ministry of Social Development. There's the MyLad program. There's the same school that the caller called about where he's saying that that's the trade school. There's the UTT, which is it's a parallel university, but the entry may be different to that from the University of the West Indies. People of Port of Spain South know what the programs are and grasp it with two hands, and let us help you improve your standard of living.
I know you have to run, but before you run...
I'm not running.
No. I mean, before you leave, I want to just say this. Mm-hmm. I want to say this in context of one of the things the caller said about wealth. I remember, and I'm looking at you to tell you this. I remember when they were doing the project for Port of Spain South, when they launched it in the government plaza.
Yes.
And questions were being asked. And you said, I will never forget, when you made the statement and the point that contractors who live in Port of Spain South should be given first priority to do all works in Port of Spain South. That's one. Yeah. Two, you said also, because I think somebody had sent a message, or did they call in, and you said also that you were going to meet with young men who want to start their companies. You were going to give them legal advice on how to formulate a company and what are some of the things that they need, documents they need to get. And I remember that discussion you were having, and I could talk about a young man I know for a fact who told me he spoke to you.
Yes.
And you were putting things in place for him, and it was a ripple effect, because he was getting technicians, masons, all of them to come under his company, so that when the project starts, they can be financially able to move forward.
And they can have their documents in order. Let me tell you how far this has reached. A gentleman, I collected company documents from an area in my area.
Yeah,
and I got a call from the counselor. The person may have left their ID card and some in the documents. Now, I don't stick. So once I get that, I'm moving it forward.
Yes.
I had to go and pull that out of an official source and say, well, I'm not looking because I already sent it forward. Send my assistants down in that area, only for the man to tell me he leave it by a girlfriend.
Whoa.
That's it. Listen, I call his superior, say, boss, what kind of failure is that?
Yeah.
But the point I'm making, it tells me a point is that we are trying to assist local entrepreneurs.
Of course, I know that's your heart.
And the only thing I don't want is hear about ghosts. I want to see people, and I just check up, I was told there's one more floor, I just go and check on you, to make sure that you work. I don't want to hear ghosts. I want to see people working an honest day's pay for an honest day's wage. That's my only rider to them, ask all of them. I speak to them, I say, boss, if you tell me 25 employees and the company has 25 employees being paid for by the taxpayers, ensure that they have 25 people working. And I show up unannounced. I say, watch E, for you know not
when you come.
Yes.
Hello, good afternoon.
Boss, I can give you 5 more minutes.
All right. Hello, good afternoon.
Give you 5 more minutes.
Yeah, I heard Mr. Scotland say, and Keith Scotland, we are like brothers, and I'm saying this, right?
Go on.
You said you wanted to disagree with me about how many programs have been put into the constituency.
I want to know. Hold on. Let me tell you. My disagreement with you is with the concept and with the narrative and with the self-fulfilling prophecy that the people of Port of Spain South did not have an opportunity to uplift themselves. I am saying things can be done better, yes, but the opportunity just for the rest of the country is there. That is my disagreement. I don't want to get into tit for tat.
If you start a program, right? If you start some sort of program, let's say on the highway. I mean on the by Samran Tree around there.
Call you have to be really quick. Have a caller
Persons cannot attend. Persons from in East Port of Spain cannot attend any particular program that you start. So even if you
but that's he said that earlier on that he's gonna. That's what the sporting thing that he's gonna try to pull.
Caller, I know you wanted me to call you yesterday. He wanted me to call him personally yesterday. I said, we don't run down people. I will call him. Caller, what I am saying to you is this: there, Trinidad and Tobago, Port of Spain South. Look, I talking to you only on this part. There are opportunities out there for us to grasp.
Yes.
I want you to grasp it. There was a certain company. When I saw the name of the company, I said, boss, you had to change this name.
Yeah.
The guy said, when he thought about it,
he
said, you know what? That makes sense because what you project. I know that caller.
Right.
He wanted me to call him yesterday before I come on the program to get say, no, he wanted to advise me.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, gentlemen. Mr. Scotland, I have a challenge for you also.
Whoa, okay.
Every other MP as well.
Okay, tell me the challenge.
I want every MP to ask 2 ministries to begin working together, which is the Water and Sewage Authority, WASA, and the Ministry of Works. Is 2022.
The roads.
The Ministry of Works paving somewhere, and then WASA coming and pick it up 2 days after.
Caller,
we need WASA to do their work before properly, and then we have a proper paved road after. We can't have it.
All right, caller,
we catch you.
Caller, you are speaking to the road in Africa that collapsed. That's what we had to do, And the thing is, it collapsed because of water.
Right.
Water slippage, it really destroyed the substrata of the road, and we had to go and pave it. But the caller is making it's a legitimate point, and we can't ignore it. That's a legitimate point.
I don't want to keep you in. I know you have to go.
What time is it?
It's now.
I don't want to leave. I can give you another 5 minutes.
Next 5 minutes. All right, so we take 2 more calls.
Take 2 more calls and then we call that.
All right, 2 more calls. 342-0081, 342-0081, 771-1791, 466-5391. So you can call now. All right, I would like to hear somebody from Port of Spain South. I want to hear a caller from Port of Spain South. If you have an issue, I'll call in.
The other gentleman that came, that spoke about the other MPs coming, I don't have that powers.
Right.
But you have someone else coming on, and although we started, this is a one way of reaching the streets.
Yes.
There's one way of reaching the people and letting them know what we are doing. If you don't have any more callers on
I have a caller.
Right.
Hello, good afternoon.
Last call.
Hi, good afternoon, MP Scotland.
Good afternoon.
I must say I'm impressed with your delivery in Parliament. I listen to Parliament at every sitting. I want to say that. But one point I'd like to make is that I want you, instead of trying to sue people in their hand something, I think it would be good if you were to tell them and guide them towards the opportunities that the PNM, and not only PNM, that every government has presented to them there in Port of Spain. So there's a lot of programs available. I did a degree program, and there were a lot of students who excelled from Port of Spain South.
Agreed.
And there's a lot of intellectual people in those areas. You know?
Caller, agreed.
Thank you, caller. Have a next caller holding. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, this is the last call. We take the last one.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Port of Spain South. Talk quick.
Peace and blessings. Good afternoon to the MP.
Good afternoon.
Now, thanks in a million, Pastor Google. Thanks in a million, Mr. Scotland.
You're welcome.
For coming on the airways and dealing with the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And we need a lot more, because somehow the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago is very frustrated, stating that they ain't having enough councillors or ministers to address the problem. So thanks again, and hoping that we get many more, that the citizens could hear the plight, the representatives, the constituencies at Trinidad and Tobago. Thanks again, Pastor Google. Thanks, Mr. Scotland.
Welcome.
You all have a safe and blessed one.
You all are welcome.
And on that note, I want to say thank you, Honorable Member of Parliament for Port of Spain South, Mr. Keith Cutland. I want to thank you on behalf of management of Street 919 FM for taking up the offer to come on to our open door.
Pastor, you are very welcome. It was my pleasure and my honor. I think I just love what my constituents, all of them, you know, in a real way. Listen, they're difficult, you know. You can't please them at all sometimes, but they're real, and they're real people with real issues. And I want to say that, you know, we will try our best to do you proud, Port of Spain South. I have some very big shoes to fill. Honorable Member Marty MacDonald is a stalwart, but I will try my best in my own way to chart my course for you, Port of Spain South. We have a lot coming. When we are finished with our Peter Avenue, you'll be invited for the opening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Peace and love. And run my track for me, please, before I leave. Run my track for me before I leave.
So that was the Honorable Member of Parliament for Port of Spain South, Mr. Keith Scotland. We want to thank him again for being here with us. And I want to say to you, Trinidad and Tobago, we have some more guests coming in, so you have to be a part of it, right? So don't touch your dial, stay right here.